Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abusecartoons live stream. How's it going? So I grabbed that Godzilla GIF from from Google just to remind myself that I promised we would talk and show some Godzilla, but I don't have a good way without the green screen. I need to set up a second camera that's facing the desktop so I can just show stuff on the desk. So I might disable the green screen to show the book. I'm not sure, but it's terrible. If you don't remember from last week, I mentioned that I had some old, very early art projects, and I realized how I guess it's a symptom of public schools, but the materials and everything that they gave us to like do these books, which were a lot of work for the teachers, it was really garbage. It was just a bunch of felt tip pens, I think, in a cigar box. But and so the product looks really terrible, but the effort that they went through, I'll show you when we look at the books, but the effort that they went through was quite a bit. Yeah. And they're still, almost 50 years later, they're still in pretty good shape. So we'll see that all later. I remembered, yes. Yeah, and I can't believe I have four books. I thought, I knew I did at least two, but I forgot that I did four. And I think I did one to replace some, I don't know, some extra credit or some project or something, because there's one that has a note in it. So I think I just kept wanting to make books, and so I made one more. So I'll show you. There's a ton of spelling mistakes too. It's really funny. Anytime I had to write something, the spelling is horrible. It's very brutal. But yeah, I wish I had a better way. I need two cameras, but yeah, that's a little excessive. But yeah, I need another camera facing down on the desk so I can show you what's going on there. But usually just shift the one. So I hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, it sounds like everyone is getting sick here again, just in time for the hot summer. Oh, nice. Yeah. Was there a big eruption? Yeah, we're far away from things where we are. So, oh, Sakurajima. Sakurajima is where? Wow. Yeah, I don't even know where that is. A erupting Japanese volcano. Dozens ordered to evacuate. Wow. Yeah, the whole island is made from volcanoes, so it's pretty crazy. Yeah, right. Yeah, as a kid, I wish I had autocorrect. Yeah, where is wow. Yeah, I don't know anybody near that area. It might be kind of far away. It looks like they're showing kind of fishing areas. Yeah, I'm always the last to know. That's crazy. Yeah, it's one of the most active volcanoes, they're saying. Just show a little map. I'm for you. Kagoshima. Oh, Kyushu. Okay, so yeah. So it's another. It's the other little island. That may be why it's the most active. It's on a little island. So we're on kind of the biggest, older island. So not a lot of activity. Oh, oh, that's the Tonga one. Yeah, you can see the Tonga, that one eruption. I think that was the one that had put ash in the air and canceled a lot of European flights. Happened like a long time ago, like 5-10 years ago. But I remember the satellite pictures of that. Yeah, so they're evacuating Kagoshima. Anyone near there? But yeah, it's a pretty active volcano, so people aren't too... Yeah, they're very well versed in what to do. So they're used to it. Yeah. That's good. That's great. Yeah, I'm glad your friend's safe, Matt. Crazy. So let's get to some drawing here. Yeah, I totally missed that in the news. There we go. Yeah, I think we're working. I still don't have a great setup for this mic. All right, there we go. Hopefully that'll work. And yeah, I had a computer crash right before this, so I hope it's going to behave itself. And then I had to switch mice as well. My wireless mouse stopped right clicking, so it's crazy. Yeah, as small as Japan is, it's surprising we have a lot of natural disasters, but the whole island, the whole archipelago isn't affected. So a lot of times when there's big earthquakes reported, my family in the U.S. is worried, but a lot of the times, yeah, we don't feel it, or it doesn't have a big effect. It has to be real close in most cases. But yeah, a lot of natural events in Japan. And a lot of unnatural stuff too. They're in the news, the shooter and the ex-prime minister case is going through a psych evaluation. I don't know how that works here so well, but hopefully he's not going to be able to get away with and they're talking to the mother, so she sounds like a real nut job, and didn't even realize she had ruined her son's life by throwing all their money away. I think it's the Moonies that she was actually involved with. It's one of those like cults that's run by Koreans, and they keep changing their name. So it might be like what was known as the Moonies back in the 60s or 70s when they were in the news last. But they have one of those silly generic names now. But all their money went away. And he initially, there was I just read a little bit of the article. He originally was planning to attack the church, the cults, the organization that his mother was ruining their life with, when he was trying to get into a meeting or a public event, not a public event, but an event they were having for their members, and he tried to bring a Molotov cocktail into a event that they were having, but they stopped him and said no outsiders for this particular event. So he's easily deterred, but yeah, it seems like he's been around for a while. So it's another one of those cases where they should have known, authorities should have been aware of this guy, and he should have never been able to be so active or so freely wandering around public figures. But yeah, it sounds like he tried. I don't know the date of that. I don't know how recent that was. But it sounds like he also tried to attack the religious group that he was blaming for all of his misfortune. Lovely. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much more we're going to hear about it. Oh, and I haven't been I haven't been to that station since, so I don't know. We'll see once things calm down. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. Yeah, looking at those old books, I barely remember them, but they're all inspired by like B movies that I watched on like Saturday afternoons. The bad sci-fi and monster movies. All those stories, except the weird one about the Cheetos. And I'm wondering, because there's a correction on the cover of that one, I wonder if I spelled something strange or the teacher said don't use a brand name. And I changed it from Cheetos to Cheeses or something. Because there's a weird correction on the front of the book. It's so funny that teachers in the 70s were guardians of trademark. It's just a stupid school project. It's not like the lawyers are going to be called in, but teachers are always telling you not to use copyright or trademark or copyright. Nice. All right. So yeah, sorry again, Matt. We had plans on Friday for our first Blade Runner session. Sorry, the time got screwed up with that, and yeah, you guys were waiting too long. I apologize, and I'm sorry we have to wait another 2 weeks before we can do that. I'm taking a look at. They already have a dice roller, and because Free League supports Foundry very well, so I'm already looking at Foundry for switching things over, just in case we run a little bit longer, because we've got a deadline with Astral. So I'm looking at switching over the assets to there. It seems like Foundry is more traditional, like Roll20 is more assuming that you want, maps snapping to grids and everything. But they do have they already have built in as a command the Blade Runner dice. So that would be good, because Astral doesn't have anything. I can, I can kind of program those dice. There's scripting to let me set up buttons so you can roll those dice, but it seems like such a waste of time because it's just going to be deleted anyhow. We're going to use it like once or twice, and then it's just going to be deleted. So, yeah, it feels like such a waste of time. So I'd rather devote the time to learning Foundry and getting that to work for us. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, and they had a little notification at the top of Astral that said, join our Discord for the guide for how to export, all the stuff that you've built in Astral. And then the first thing that they have on their guide is, because of our, copyright or whatever, we're unable to support, any kind of export, I guess, except for maps you've made or whatever. You can export maps, but nothing else can be exported out of the so it sounds like they got really tangled up with Roll20, so who knows. Hey SNK, how's it going? How you doing over there on Twitch? Nice. Yeah, so some really bad business deal happened that screwed Astral. So I'll see how usable Foundry is, and if it'll work, well internationally. But we can, pretty much, if we just set up a Well, maybe even on. I'll have to double check on Discord, but yeah, anything that we can do screen sharing on, because we can even do screen sharing with the engine that runs that Discord recorder. They have their own video platform that does screen sharing anyhow, so we can actually start a meeting in there, and it automatically records it. But you, unless you have a subscription, you have to pay like per minute to download, or per hour, I think it is, which is very cheap. Like it's $1 an hour, so they're really, really cheap. Or you can just use it, use the video and audio capability. So maybe as a last resort, we can use that because that's totally free as well. So I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what kind of a transition this is going to be for drive-through. This is not interesting to anybody but Matt and I, but from drive-through to Roll20. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah. But I was all public schools in the Midwest and Ohio and Illinois growing up, so very low. I'm sure their school budgets and everything were ridiculous, and a lot of the schools were pretty old as well, the school buildings and things. The only school that I went to that was newer is my middle school. They had just built, but it was a pretty industrial looking, sterile school. But the thing that was bizarre about it, I don't know if we were the first year. It was pretty new, but I'm not sure if we were the very first year in there. But no bells. There were these digital clocks in all of the classroom, which kind of changed how like clock watching people were. It had a very weird effect, I think, on people wanting to get out of there. And instead of a bell, which sometimes was very startling, those old school bells sounded just like fire alarms, but it was a digital beep, a very loud digital beep instead of a bell. So it was it took a long time to get used to it. So the first few weeks, it was just everyone startled because it was this really loud beep instead of any sort of bell or chime or anything. So very bizarre. But yeah, that's what you get with new construction. Yeah, very strange. But yeah, I was realizing looking at those books how low budget everything was. And I think it's still like that because they talk about, teachers are always talking about spending their own money on materials so the students aren't like totally screwed in a lot of situations. That's just depressing. But there isn't but who knows? I mean, those funds, if teachers had a lot of access to petty cash or a lot of ways to get money for projects, I'm sure that would also be abused. So who knows? That may be why it sucks so bad. It's because there was a lot of abuse. All right. Yeah, I don't know what. I couldn't find any more Godzilla energy drinks, so no themed beverage for this week. But yeah, those movies, the old Godzilla movies, and they would do marathons too on the Cleveland UHF channel 43 had once the cartoons were done on Saturday, they would have this show called Superhost, and it was a local, I don't know if he was ever like a weatherman or newsreader or whatever, but this local news guy that would dress like a half clown, like a clown Superman. He had his hair kind of slicked like Clark Kent, but he had a red dot on his nose. And they had a few like little interstitial gags, which were usually just a lot of like weird parody stuff of 70s television. But so he was kind of like this a Superman clown thing, and they would have Three Stooges shorts, and then monster movies. And monster movies could either be Japanese, kaiju like Godzilla movies, or actual giant spider, or Universal monster movies, the Dracula, the Mummy, and Frankenstein kind of stuff. But they just they called them monster. Everything was a monster movie. But that's where I spent so much time as a kid. So all of my super unoriginal ideas for stories all came from things that I saw, and like images that would stick with you from a movie that just made it into it. So I don't think I'm actually that my creative process isn't much different than when I was 7 or whatever. It's still those things that stick with you. You're just kind of stealing and regurgitating stuff that sticks in your memory. But yeah, that was a staple for a long time. I think the host of that show did it well into the maybe early 90s. So that was like one of the, and it wasn't, so I don't think we had, I'm sure that, no, I think there was like a local, like one of those, not, it was still like a UHF, but like one of those hosts, those monster hosts like Elvira type late night B-movie, monster movie host kind of deals. We had one of those too, but I never saw that, so it must have been like on really late. Yeah, it's a shame. Like the birth of the rise of infomercials really ruined that whole filling time until the sign off. So the late night B movie shows and stuff, they all disappeared once the channels could get people to pay them to advertise their junk. Oh, music before the bell would be nice. Yeah. That beep, that digital beep was terrifying. I mean, if you're watching the clock and expecting it, it wasn't bad. But if you're like working or trying to get something done and you just hear this like really piercing digital sound, that was horrible. You got numb to it after a while, but that probably means I'm also numb to like fire alarms and things in modern hotels because of all that horrible beeping. And that was the biggest shock too. So the junior high school, the middle school as they called it, was new, and the high school, which was just across the parking lot, was really, really old. So high school was a real downgrade. Well, but the funny thing I remember about the high school was it was still in the time when there was a smoking lounge. So I think that smoking age was 16. So students and teachers and everybody could go to this. It was basically like a room near where they would store all the gym equipment and stuff. So there would be these weird outside doors, and it was like a smoking room for anybody that was legally allowed to smoke. So after school, there would be a bunch of people there. And that was always very mysterious, especially when you're in, junior high school or before that. Like, what is going on in that room? And I don't know when that kind of thing discontinued, but I remember there was a smoking room for people to go to after school, or maybe that's where, teachers probably smoked in their break room in their offices. But those were the days. Really dating myself with that one. Yeah, because I think, and that seems so far away when I was a little kid, but I think you could smoke at 16. I think you could buy cigarettes at 16. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember this, and you could get alcohol across the state line from where we were. You could get alcohol at 18, so it was 21 where we were, but you could go across the border and get it at 18. Uh, yeah, so it was very strange. So the police were always, of course, watching that border. Yeah, minimum age of 16 was introduced in 1972, and it was raised from 16 to 18 in 1990, and then from 18 to 21. Whoa, 18 to 21 in 2020 in the U.S. Wow, you could smoke, and at six in 1990 you could be 16 and smoking cigarettes. That's amazing. Or 1989, I guess. Wow. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. That was funny. Yeah, it is weird. I think that was just the tobacco industry. I think had a lot of friends in the government, so they made it a little bit friendlier. Yeah, but because I remember that was always a big deal about vending machines. So they had cigarette vending machines, and the controversy was that they were usually in the lobbies or the entryways of bars. So because you were 16, you could actually use the vending machine, but because you couldn't really go into the bar at 16, there was a little bit of a problem with that discrepancy. Yeah, that's really strange that it lasted so long. And that might just be nationally. I'm sure it changed a lot. Yeah, it was proposed in 85 to raise it to 21, but it didn't happen in all the states until. That's crazy. Yeah, because I remember, I don't. My parents like on and off smoked. They weren't like serious smokers, but I think I remember my friends buying cigarettes because it was a local convenience store, buying cigarettes for their parents because it was not a big deal. Like you weren't really supposed to. They didn't enforce the age so heavily because it was pretty young anyhow. But I remember being like junior high school and having a friend buy a cigarette. Like we went and bought, Cokes or gum or something or candy and buying cigarettes. I remember that and it not being such a big deal. Yeah, it changed very quick. Yeah, but each state kind of had its own thing. Oh man, yeah, that was the shock too when we went to when I was homestay in Sweden because they had beer vending machines. They have in Japan too. They have beer vending machines around, and there was one at the dormitory where we were staying in the language school, and they were warning us, it's legal here, but not for you. So we don't want to see anybody using those vending machines. But yeah, those ages are so funny. And now here for the cigarette machines, they have I think either your driver's license or a specific tobacco pass ID is the only way you can buy cigarettes. I think they have that now with alcohol vending machines too. There's a chip or something that the machine can recognize, so your driver's license can get you access to a vending machine. I haven't ever used because there's always convenience stores open with a better selection, but I've never used a vending machine for beer or sake or anything. But they have hot sake in vending machines in the winter, which is wonderful. All right. Oh, interesting. Yeah, smoking in the car. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that happening multiple times. Like uncles or grandparents or anybody that smoked, they would just throw the cigarette butts out the window. But if you had your window open, sometimes the cigarette would just make a sharp U-turn right into the back seat. I remember that happening. But that was always I can picture that very well. The kind of burning, cinder, the ash at the end of the cigarette, just like going off into nowhere out the car window. Oh, yeah, multiple. So yeah, unknown girl said, "Did you decide whether you have will have multiple cartoons on each page?" I'm still not sure if that's the best way to do it, just because of the size of the text. But it'd probably make a better looking book. So I think I have to do that. Yeah, yeah, I think that's going to make a nicer format for the book. So I should do it. Definitely do it that way. But I still haven't, yeah, uh, seen a good example of how that would look or a good format. I'll have to play around with it. Yeah, and I gotta be careful. It's already July, so we're more than halfway through the year. I gotta make sure I get that produced before too long, so it comes out this year. It's nice though. As soon as I'm finished, it's pretty quickly available. I don't. There's not a long, production or approval process because it'll be print on demand. But yeah, I have to make sure that happens. What a waste. Otherwise. All right. Uh, yeah, it's really funny, like where people were smoking and people smoking in bed all the time. That's a funny thing. People falling asleep, and again, I don't remember in bed, but I can remember like grandparents or uncles or whatever falling asleep holding a cigarette. That's so funny, and the ash just like burning down to the filter. But did I have a lot of drunk relatives that passed out, or were they just really hardworking and tired individuals? That's funny. But yeah, beer and cigarettes, that's a very, yeah, my whole upbringing was very blue collar. A lot of cheap beer and cigarettes. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to remember like teachers at school, like if I knew any specifically. Oh yeah, yeah. There were a few teachers that smelled. That's right. I remember people complaining about a few teachers that smelled after lunch. They would always smell like cigarettes, and some of the students would complain, "Ugh, I hate having his class after lunch because he always smells like cigarettes." Yeah, I remember that. But still, that was a time when people didn't complain about that. We just, choked on secondhand smoke, and we're happy to do it. We just didn't complain. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was definitely definitely a thing. I remember that. Yeah, I didn't have because yeah, my mom just smoked a little bit on and off when she was young, and so never serious. But a lot of friends did, and so she would always like bum a cigarette when they were drinking together or whatever with friends. But rarely bought cigarettes. It's funny. Yeah, and especially if you're in a smaller town too, and they know you, they know that your parents smoke because they have them as customers. So, yeah, it's a funny thing. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, if you were talented enough. Yeah, I remember. I had classmates that could sign their parents' names to things, so they could never really get in trouble because they could write, convincingly enough as their parents. I never could. I always had terrible handwriting. And my mother had amazing handwriting, so it's very difficult to emulate, at least for me. So I could never get away with that. But I remember, yeah, classmates that were unstoppable because they could sign every F or every demerit slip or whatever they had to show their parents. They could sign it all. Uh, yeah, that's funny. Mm. Yeah, I don't remember Godzilla films ever being in the theater, though. I mean, except for like maybe film festivals or whatever, some kind of like, strange event. But it was always on TV. All the old monster movies were on TV. So even when they were coming out new in in Japan, like when there was the revival in the '90s, I don't remember them being in the theaters. They may have been, but I don't remember in the theaters in the U.S. So it was always TV. Uh, right. Yeah, they must have been cheap, though. The rights to those movies must have been so cheap because they were always playing any of those weird off times. You could always. Yeah, I loved that too. I loved catching really strange, horror movies or sci-fi movies and stuff on television at really odd times. It was so great when you had local TV stations that had to just fill time, so they would just play anything. Yeah, I remember we had neighbors that all their kids were older than us, so they were all like our babysitters. But there was an older grandfather in the house, and he was always sitting in a chair in their little their little family room with the TV. They had a projector TV. They had like this is like old school, like the red, blue, green lenses kind of projection television. So I was amazed by that. It wasn't a great picture, but it was a projection television. And I remember I started watching Attack of the Killer Shrews over there. It was just on, and he was watching it. And I remember begging to stay until the end because I had to see how it ended. And the neighbors just let me just like sit on the floor in front of their television watching Attack of the Killer Shrews. Yeah, that was the nice thing, or the thing I like so much about Mystery Science Theater is a lot of those old movies that I loved, like Attack of the Giant Spider or Earth versus Giant Spider or something. I think, yeah. A lot of those movies that I liked from, trashy television when I was a kid made it to Mystery Science Theater, so I got to watch them again, but not in any sort of depressing way. Like their riffing over the top made it fun to be nostalgic about it. Yeah, it's crazy. The amount of terrible stuff that was on it. And it's funny that all of that stuff was made for the theater, like made for movie theaters. Oh, yeah, drive-in movie theaters. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been to drive-in. They still... Oh, wow. Yeah, they those popped back up during quarantine too, because movie theaters couldn't, you know, couldn't have. They had to be closed. So yeah, the drive-ins got a little resurgence, and I think like in California or places where they have a lot of space, they still some parts of the Midwest and California, maybe California because it's more year round too, they still exist. But cars are, gradually became less and less comfortable to sit in and watch movies. So I think that was a big part of what killed it. But yeah, I saw a lot of drive-in movies when I was a kid, and even up to a teenager. I even remember making out with a girlfriend in a movie theater or in a drive-in, in a car in a drive-in. So I wasn't driving though. But yeah, it lingered for a while where we were in the Midwest. But it was always like stuff that would be at the dollar movie. I don't think it was a lot of first run stuff. It was always more dollar movie or revival stuff. And I always remember that my most strongest memory of drive-ins is they didn't want to start the movies until it was dark, and so but people had been there for a long time, been there for like almost an hour, waiting for, because they would let them in pretty early, so it wasn't quite dark yet. So before it was really very visible, the projection on the screen was very visible, they would start playing Pink Panther cartoons. So the drive-ins that we would go to, I think they just probably played the same ones over and over again. So, but they had these reels of Pink Panther cartoons, so you could barely see them because it was still just kind of dusk. But they started playing cartoons, and so you're like kind of squinting at the screen at these white screens that were still getting a lot of sunlight on them, trying to watch these Pink Panther cartoons. And you had the little speaker that you put. So they eventually had broadcasters where you could just tune to a radio station, a radio channel, and then you could play on the speakers in your car. But originally, it was a little speaker with a wire on it on a pole that you stuck in your window, and so it's just a little mono speaker to. But most of the old movies were mono anyhow. You weren't losing anything for a lot of that stuff. But I saw some like James Bond movies, and I think I saw like Beastmaster, or a lot of like funny, just kind of, because my parents they loved just I saw so many stupid movies with them, so they just loved stupid kind of trashy B movies. So we went to the drive-in quite a bit, and it was never for anything very, very big, nothing very exciting. But I always remember the Pink Panther cartoons that you couldn't see. You couldn't enjoy them because you could barely see them. But the music, the Mancini music, was very recognizable. So that's what they played, and getting people ready. And then as soon as it was dark, they started to run the trailers, and then you would know movie was coming. But I think I must have seen. I know I saw Star Wars in a drive-in movie, like because Star Wars, the original Star Wars, ran for years, and it would every summer it would come back to the theaters, and it would come back to movie theaters as well. So I remember seeing Star Wars in a drive-in theater, the original, like the first Star Wars movie. And so there were some kind of summer, and maybe even Jaws too. I think that I can't remember. One of the times I saw Jaws was a drive-in as well. It must have been so cool. Maybe a little annoying because it was a constant light and noise, but it must have been really cool to be able to look out your window and see a drive-in movie screen. Like if you just had the right angles, you probably had to be be living in a farmhouse, but that would have been really cool to have the angle where you could just look out and see. And then once they went to the broadcasting the sound on the radio, if you could pick up, if you could like sit out in your front porch and turn on a radio and watch a movie, that'd be pretty funny. But it was pretty remote. Usually those the movie theaters were pretty remote. But I always enjoyed that, driving on the highway as a kid when it was getting dark and seeing, passing a movie, a drive-in theater, and seeing what movie was playing. That was always amazing. Yeah. But I think it's just because, cars are not, they used to be more bench seats and everything. And I think we had like a van that we would like back in to the spot at the movie theater. So we just opened the back of it, and you had like a little, everybody in the back of the van. You could either like lay out on the floor or sit on the chairs and stuff behind that you could turn. So it was much easier. There are much better vehicles. Anything with bench seats was a much nicer movie theater seat than when stuff started to get so tiny and everybody was in a bucket seat with a console between you. But that was cool. That was a bit of a revival because of the pandemic. They were trying to do live events too. I remember comedians were trying to do comedy shows and things at drive-ins. That had to be really hard to have an audience all sitting in their cars. And the walk. So where the projector was also like the building that had the snacks in it. So you'd, between movies or during a boring part, you would walk back to the concession stand too. That was always the big trek. I think about that too. The people that like in Chicago, that people live in Wrigleyville, that because it's an older ballpark that the Cubs, Chicago Cubs, play in, so a lot of rooftops can look down into the stadium. So a lot of people get free baseball and free movie theater, movie drive-in movies. All right. Oh. Let's see here. Yeah, no big ideas this week. Maybe I should do some book jokes or something. Yeah, and I think like I don't know what they did, if it was like flashing for comedy shows at drive-in movies. I don't know if they flashed their lights or honked their horns or whatever. But yeah, you didn't have an audience response. Yeah, so that's the thing you lose, because everyone's in their car at the drive-in. You lose the kind of crowd experience of a movie because you don't know when people are laughing or anything. And a lot of the times too, I remember the later time. I don't know if it was always a thing, but I remember if you came early and it was still light, some of the drive-in theaters had a little playground right in front of the screen. So when the movie started, it got it too dark to use the playground, but it was a way for young kids to kind of tire themselves out before the movie. So they just basically fell asleep in the back seat of the car, and always they would do. It was always a double feature, and they would usually do the PG movie, and then the later movie would be an R movie. And I think a lot of it was assumed that the kids would probably younger kids would probably be asleep. So there were little playgrounds in front of the screens, so the kids could run around before the movie started and before it got dark, so that they would be tired for the second feature, which was usually a horror movie, or at least an R movie with some blood and guts or something in it. But yeah, that's crazy. That's and especially for Japanese people, that's like, wow, that's super foreign feeling, a drive-in movie, because there's just no space to do that. You would have to like sacrifice a rice field or a tea field to be able to do that in Japan. Yeah, I'm just amazed they have spaces like they do for big music festivals and stuff. 'Cause land is such a premium here. You can't do playful stuff like drive-in movies. Oh, nice. Exorcist. That is quite a double feature. Yeah, like the Fox and the Hound, and then the Exorcist or whatever. That would be quite a double feature. Yeah, that's true. So I guess they did really assume, oh, the kids will be asleep by then. They didn't know 70s kids. We would stay awake for anything. I can't even imagine like watching The Exorcist at a really young age. Oh, that's great. What a funny double bill. Yeah, that's right. It was much more. Yeah, because the movie theater, the drive-ins didn't have any, loyalty or anything to any particular studio, so they could, because they're doing double features, they could mix and match whatever. So it's great. You could do whatever, Jungle Book and Exorcist. That would be so great on a marquee. I would love to see some of those old drive-in marquees. Oh, and the other trick was you paid per car. So it wasn't a lot of the times, and I don't know if it changed or if different theaters did different things, but you just paid for, so if it was two people in a car or four people in a car, I think it'd be the same price, and they were just assuming they would probably make it up at the concession stand. But then that meant that, you could hide people in the trunk, hide people under, like, in the back seat, behind or on the floor in the back seat. Like, you could hide as many people, cram as many people as you could in a car, and then so sneaking into a drive-in movie was that same sort of thing. If it was per car, then just try to get as many people as possible. And I remember kids being free or something as well. Them not. I remember, it not mattering about us being in the car. It's funny. Hey, how's it going? And K5, good to see you. We're talking drive-in movie theaters. Yeah, lots of only memories. I do. I brought the books. I have the proof. Yeah, it was. I totally forgot that I had left them at the office, and now they are here, and they're worse than I remember. So it's not going to be it's not going to be anything too amazing. But it's funny how my tastes and probably drawing ability hasn't changed all that much over the years. But got the books, so we'll do a little Godzilla. Crazy. Yeah, it's so funny here. So Toho is the studio that has Godzilla in Japan, and it's so strange. They're thinking, because every time Godzilla gets slightly popular, they just kill it. They just milk it for as long as they can, and people get bored with it, and so the movies just kind of diminish in ticket sales until they just stop it. Stop Godzilla again. So Godzilla has these 10 years of dormancy very often between kind of the runs of the movies, and that last one really sucked because Japan didn't want to compete with America, because America, I don't know which American studio, but they had the Godzilla rights, and they did those 3 Godzilla movies, so they didn't want to compete. But when they saw how America was doing Godzilla, they didn't like it. I mean, they didn't have any veto power over it, but they weren't impressed with American Godzilla. So, of course, that motivates them to haul him back out, and that's why we got Shin Godzilla not that long ago. And I guess they put the they've given up on the idea of a second Shin Godzilla movie. And I guess the writer, the Evangelion writer, had a pretty crazy. He had three movies kind of just outlined, and they were going to get really bizarre. We were going to go from terrestrial Godzilla to kind of cosmic Godzilla, but that didn't happen. All right, I don't know why I bothered doing these redraw. Yeah, Godzilla at a drive-in, a Godzilla film festival at a drive-in would be the best. That would be really fun. Yeah, and any of them, the 90s ones or the old, 60s and 70s, they would all be great. Yeah, it's just, as a character, it's so remarkable that, less than 10 years, after Japan was just decimated, you had such an amazing like sci-fi idea come out, like a Godzilla movie, and based on atomic testing. That's crazy. Very resilient country. because not only the atomic bombs, but the the fire bombing, and like Tokyo and parts of Osaka were just completely ash, after the war, because there was so much bombing that went on the mainland to try to cripple Japan's manufacturing abilities. So it's amazing that movie studios and everything got back up and running as quickly as they did. All right. Yeah, definitely. And kind of there's always been the he's became kind of like a children's character by the 70s, but there's always been this weird Godzilla as humanity's mistake, or as a force of nature, like punishment for punishment by nature or natural disaster. So there's been a weird weird kind of depiction or presence in the movie of that character. And that very first Godzilla movie, not the crappy Matthew Broderick one, the first the first in the new trilogy that they did, I liked that they tried to come up with some idea to make him be like an animal that kind of made sense, and then they went into that whole, I forget what they called it, but that whole weird MonsterVerse thing where they got King Kong involved, and it just fell apart. It just got really stupid. But I liked the idea of it being, some kind of, creature that was attracted to radioactivity, so it was like constantly attacking anything that was created, in that way. There was some interesting original thoughts, but then, the American idea kind of fell apart. And even there was a Netflix animated series that was kind of a sci-fi. So Godzilla was this like nature, with this naturally occurring thing. I think like a plant. I think it was like plant-based, but like a guardian of this planet that humanity stumbled upon or whatever. But it was so more of that kind of force of nature theme, but kind of interesting. Not very well animated. It's that really cheap CG, cell shaded CG animation that it looks terrible. But an interesting idea, just not very watchable animation. And then there was a really weird anime after that was just kind of, I don't know what the hell it was, but it was just creatures kind of inspired, inspired by some of the famous Godzilla characters. It didn't make a heck of a lot of sense. All right, but the studio that owns Godzilla is very fickle. They're all in, or they're like, put it away. It just kind of comes and goes. Barney is way scarier. No, that's true. It is kind of like a Barney character, because Godzilla, and a lot of the times too, in those more kid-friendly movies, they would emulate wrestling moves from famous professional Japanese professional wrestlers and things. So it'd be all these like really silly, and Godzilla had like a little dance, like a little pose he would do. Yeah, there was some really cheesy, stupid stuff in some of these Godzilla. But I love that. I mean, I was the perfect age for that, so I just ate that up. I loved, Godzilla, just like Gamera was like friend to children. The idea that the giant monsters always had a connection with a kid, and that little trope was like right in my generation, that late 60s, early 70s. And I was seeing all of it delayed, too. But we always had a giant monster friend to help us when we were being bullied or whatever. But that's why he kept always going away. And that revival in the 90s, both Gamera and Godzilla got really big 90s revivals. And the Gamera movies are actually really good as well. Maybe Godzilla's only box office competition. But it kind of started out the same way. Gamera was kind of a scary, terrifying monster that I think was like awoken from ice in the Arctic or something. That doesn't make a lot of sense for a turtle. But something like that. But then, of course, becomes friend of all children. uh, Yeah. That's some old stuff. And they've recreated a lot of that on television in Japan. So every generation has kind of gotten their giant monster fight kind of superhero stuff, kind of like the Power Rangers, Ultraman, Kamen Rider. Or I guess Kamen Rider never grows, never gets big. But Ultraman and Power Rangers got large and fought giant monsters. So every generation gets that in Japan. Hey Dan, how's it going? Oh yeah, shaved ice gummies. Yeah, the kakigori. It's summertime, so the shaved ice is everywhere. And the crazy thing is, in Japan, if you order it, a lot of time it's like fresh fruit and just like it's not like fake flavoring. It's just like fruit juices and condensed milk and fresh fruit. But it's gigantic. I mean, because it's just ice, so it's not expensive. But when you get it at a restaurant or a cafe or something, it's this giant mountain of shaved ice with all kinds of fruit and stuff on it. But yeah, they're pretty amazing here and kind of a staple because they're a real good way to survive the miserable summer weather. But yeah, I don't know, I'm a little bit afraid. The packaging on the gummies says chocolate, and it also says strawberry, so maybe they mean white chocolate. So maybe it's like a white chocolate flavor on top, so with the strawberry flavor on top. But that's not going to be very, snow in a very shaved ice, snow cone flavor. White chocolate's a little too much. Right. Ban. Shaved ice and nothing on it. Oh my god. I'll have mine plain. I like mine water flavored. Yeah, but if all you're going for is the cooling, that totally makes sense. Get rid of those calories. Yeah, but as a kid I always loved those like bizarre flavors. There's blue and purple and always trying to like, I guess this is kind of, so what blue is like blue. Kool-Aid made it blue raspberry, but I think blue used to be pineapple a lot of the time because yellow is lemon and red is usually cherry, and pink for some reason is strawberry, at least with snow cones. I don't know why. But yeah, and I don't like when green is sour apple. That's not good. But lemon and lime is a little redundant. K5 is not going to stand for any slight to sweet syrup. Yeah, the condensed milk is actually surprisingly good, like strawberries or like mango or even like different citrus fruit, orange and lemon and lime and stuff with condensed milk is actually kind of interesting. Yeah. I like lime flavor better than sour apple, the green apple. That's always but maybe Jolly Ranchers are the only green apple that I can get behind. Oh man, I don't know what I'm drawing today. Yeah, but I like how the everything shifts into summer mode now. It's all heat survival, and some of the big festivals have already started happening here. So, and it's nice because the tourists aren't, I guess it's only like 1,000 tourism, like only tourist visa. It's only 1,000 people a day. and they have to be in a tour group. So that means a lot of like European and just Western tourists don't like to travel, don't like to do tour groups. So there's many less people. So it's nice. So the big festivals then are all Japanese people, so you don't have any weird stuff. Fanta came up with mystery flavor, and I'm pretty sure it's cotton candy. Oh, wow. Cotton candy Fanta. That's crazy. Yeah, Fanta gets a little weird here. They have their whole line of adult flavors. I keep calling them adult flavors. So just like mostly like grape and I'm trying to think of some of the other flavors, but more heavy, richer flavors because I guess they're assumed it's more kid friendly. But there's adult Fanta in Japan for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, pineapple. Yeah, right. Yeah, pineapple. That's right, pineapple Fanta. That's a good one. Yeah, and I think they've done adult versions as like their more popular flavors, and they're in the bottle is a different shape, and it has like a gold label on it, so it looks more like a wine bottle. It's really weird. I don't know why there's so many snacks that have to have the adult version. Right. All right. Let's see. Oh, no big ideas here. Just a lot of boxes. Oh yeah. There's a lot of melon. Well, melon soda is a very and the I don't know what kind of melon it's supposed to be, like a honeydew or something, but the melon flavored soda here is it's like its own kind of flavor, and most of the time it's cream soda, so it's got like a vanilla ice cream kind of edge to it. So it's so melon soda. If you order melon soda, that usually means a float, like a melon soda float, very often. So if you go to the Japanese restaurants in like the international departure in any of the airports here, there's always melon soda, and it's a green melon flavored soda float, usually with a whipped cream and a cherry on top. That's very classic melon soda. Yeah. That's a big. It's funny too because that's usually a kid's big favorite for kids too. Is melon flavor. Yeah, and I think it is supposed to be. It's like a green melon flavor. But they also have things that taste more like cantaloupe and stuff. Some of the Mitsuyo cider fruit flavors, they'll do like cantaloupe or different types of melon, and they're very good because they're the real juice from the melon, so they have a very natural, authentic flavor. Okay. Oh. I don't know what. No big ideas this week. Just too worried about getting the mouse and computer working again. I had that crash right before I started, so I was worried I'd have to delay streaming until tomorrow because the computer took a dive right as I was going to go live. That's why I started a bit later. I had to reboot and make sure that it was going to keep running. But I think it was just a memory I ran out of memory because as soon as I was opening Photoshop and doing anything in Photoshop, all the memory hogged by Google Chrome becomes a problem. And OBS too. OBS is pretty resource hungry. So just having Photoshop and OBS is enough to tank my system, but Google Chrome doesn't make that any better. Oh, fun stuff. Oh, yeah, it's getting late for Matt. Good night, Matt. Glad to have you in the chat. We'll be in touch soon and hopefully get some gaming in as soon as we can. And let me know, Matt, if there's some kind of off time during the week or whatever you're available. Be fun to catch up. All right. Yeah, I've got the Viasyn British Isles, Ireland and British Isles came. I gotta do a flip through of that, so I'll be on the live stream sometime this week doing that. But yeah, let's talk soon. All right. Oh, sorry. There was a recommendation. Unknown Girl said about draw icy pole. An icy pole, like a. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should. Oh, I didn't even think. Yeah, we were just talking about snow cones. Snow cones would be a good. I can't even think though. What what do snow cones look like? Yeah, it's not paper. They're in cones, right? Yeah, they're in paper cones. Yeah. So, yeah, that's not very accurate. Although I guess that's kind of, that must exist somewhere. So here, let me show you guys if I've got some room here. So the kakigori, the Japanese snow cone, like if you order it in a cafe, it usually looks like this. So there's like a shallow dish, like a very shallow bowl that it's sitting on. And it literally is like it's literally like this. It's all shaved ice, and if you don't eat it fast enough, and it all turns into water, the container that it's in, the bowl that it's in, will not hold it. So it would just like cover the table. If you had some emergency, you ordered one of these, you put it down on the table, and then you left, and it melted, it would just completely wreck the table because it would just melt completely. It's insane though. They're just like these mountains of shaved ice. And a lot of times, yeah, there's like fruit stuck on the sides. Kind of that style. But yeah, they're really, really crazy. And so for scale, a spoon, would just be like this. Normal spoon. But because it's all just ice, it's not crazy. Oh, icy poles. Oh, I got you now. Popsicles. Yes. Thank you. Yum is translating. Nice. Icy poles. Interesting. I've never... Yeah, that's almost exactly... It's very close to icicle. Ice pop, icicle. And British people call them... The British terminology is even totally different. Like ice lolly or something. Like a ice lollipop, I think. So nobody calls that the same stupid thing. Ooh. Oh, I bet that's like. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the red, right, the rocket pops, the red, white, and blue giant popsicles or bomb pops. I think they call those bomb pops or rocket pops. Yeah. So yeah, Japanese snow or shaved ice is nothing to mess with. It's a serious dessert. Let me get this a little more symmetrical. Hmm. Icy pop. Yeah, 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 yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's so funny. Icy pole, ice pop, popsicle. Even I've even seen like ice bar. Everyone's trying to, and I think a lot of the times so they try to make it sound less childish, like less like a kid's dessert. Like if they want to sell it to adults, juice bars and ice bars. Frozen ice bar. Yeah, but I don't think as a cartoon this would be very very recognizable. So oh, and here's my yeah. So it would have to be a ice. Yeah, but a popsicle like ice bar would be good. Nice. That's cool. Prime ice pop flavor. Hmm. Nice. Yeah, I like those old red, white, and blue because they did. I think they did have. They were different flavors, like the red, the white or clear flavor, and then the blue flavor did taste different. That might have been an illusion, but I remember. And also, when the red would melt and drift down into the blue, it would be purple. Like the dyes would actually mingle. The food coloring would mingle. And you get weird color streaks. Okay. Yeah, so some icy poles or icy pops. Yeah, I did a like sticking on the beach, ice pops on the beach once. So I don't want to repeat that, but that might be fun. A oh, these are on the same layer. Brilliant. But yeah, and I like the ice pops that have two sticks for some reason. You're supposed to share them or just eat them half at a time or something. Oh, that's right. No, I think they were to share because I remember like having a younger brother. I remember that a lot of the times in the packaging, my mother would just like snap them in half, and we'd each get half of a popsicle. Uh, yeah, like this kind. There'd be two bars kind of fused together. What's going on today? I'm a little off. That little divot in the middle, and then two sticks. Yikes. Something like that. This one, the stick is not straight at all. Let's try again. A little bit better. Yeah, rocket pop flavor would be great. Yeah, so that one had a yeah, kind of like that how they did on that bottle. It was more of a it, like was ridged. They were really big. Just remember them. I guess that they were the idea was they're supposed to be shaped like rockets. But yeah, they had a lot of dimensionality. Boop, boom, boom, boom. Big old rocket pops. Did I? I thought I would keep making new layers that aren't new layers. There we go. Yeah, and then the colors are, yeah, then it's 3 colors. All right, let's get rid of some of this. Crazy. Now I'm just drawing cold desserts. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, especially the double ones. Yeah, they can break. So somebody has like half just barely clinging to one stick, and the other person has like 3/4 of a of the whole bar. Nice. And I always remember, especially with the popsicle multi-packs, always like trying to look through the wrapper, the white kind of waxy paper wrapper, to see what color it was, because a lot of times they wouldn't even there'd be no printing, or they weren't packaged for individual sales, so you'd have to try to look through and see, is this orange or cherry or what is that? Yeah, it's nice too that everybody has like their own childhood memories, in their own region of the world for this kind of stuff, that it hasn't become just like a giant global dessert company that controls all of this. So we have identical memories of every kind of thing. All right, so we won't use this masterpiece, but yeah, what are these? So I can tilt these around, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. What they're doing doesn't make a lot of sense. Let's try a little distortion just to get them lined up a little. Yeah, the distort tool is my is the spell check of my drawing. I don't draw very well or very symmetrical anymore because I just make it more balanced and with distort. That's terrible. Very bad habits. All right. Something like that. All right. Yeah, it's funny too what like culturally becomes popular flavors, because there shouldn't be any limit to any, like everybody in any country should have access to flavors, different types of flavors, but the things that become popular are very funny. I don't know what to do. The last time I did a popsicle joke, I like stuck them in the ground, but laying out on the ground popsicles is very depressing. I don't know. I think it'll just be melting into a big puddle. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, eating that last little hunk clinging on the stick. So either So you either have to like gag yourself with the stick or try to bite it off from the side. That's true. Took some talent and a good approach. Yeah, because you don't want that colored frozen water like melting thing like landing on your t-shirt or anything, because it's definitely going to leave you a purple or red splotch. All right. So popsicles melting into a big puddle would be kind of a fun image to draw. Very colorful. Or they could just be... This could be the sign, you know, showing the available flavors. Huh. No, that's true. Yeah, I think that would be popular. That kind of green melon flavor here would do well. Popsicle Corpse. That is a great metal band name. Yeah, what? Because there's not leftover popsicles. There's not... They would have to be... So they're out of their wrappers. Oh. Clear some of this out of here. Yeah, I don't know what what to do. I like those drawings. They'll be fun to color, but I don't know what they're doing. I guess we can figure that out later. So let's put these somewhere. This. All right, 1, 2, 3. Where did this go? Oh, okay. There we go. So we'll put these on the other in the other file. So just by themselves, what does that suggest? I drew them at a really strange angle, so they don't look like they're sitting anywhere. They look more like they're printed on a wall. So, I don't know. Well, we'll keep thinking about that. Wait. Huh. Yeah, I don't know how they're existing, but we'll see. Okay, so let's get rid of these here. You're right. Popsicle Corpse, Popsicle Stick Graveyard. Yeah, right. No such thing as a leftover popsicle. You can't take them with you. Snow cone joke. Let's see what else. Ooh, sorry. Wow. Yeah. An overhead bird's eye popsicle view. Hmm. Yeah, that's so funny. That must have really felt like excess when you could have frozen desserts, like cheap frozen desserts, where there's just a truck with a freezer and people are handing you frozen desserts on a stick that are just being driven around the neighborhood. That's very post-war America. Uh, oh, what's the strangest thing, like in your country or your part of the world that that is delivered, like they have delivery service for? Because yeah, like traditionally in Japan they still have the kind of milkman, the milkman. It's all women now, but they have little scooters with little refrigerators on them, little coolers, and they deliver milk and yogurt and some of the drinks, the kind of yogurt breakfast drinks and stuff they have here. So they still have milk delivery, and but they also, in some parts of the area, have ramen. I'm not kidding. They have ramen delivery, so a bowl of ramen. So there's these scooters that they have this rig on the back of them. It's like a metal platform, bolted to the back of the like where the rack would be for helmet or luggage or whatever, bolted to that with a like kind of a cage around it, like 3 bars that meet at the top, and then there's this kind of a it's not, what is that called, a not a pulley, but something that balances, that would stay balanced regardless of the position or movement of the scooter, and that is hanging from that is the platform where they put the noodles on, the bowl of ramen, the bowl of noodles on. So I think they still do cover it, like cover it with plastic, but they put a bowl of soup, of hot soup, or maybe like, and they even can stack them on the back of this bike, and regardless of which position the bike is in, I should just show you a picture, that would make a lot more sense. They won't spill, so you can have ramen delivered to you. It's getting more and more rare, but it's a very funny contraption. Oh wow, some of these get really old too. I'm trying to find the best. There's not really any great pictures. Try this one. Oop, maybe put it a little higher so I'm not drawing all over it. So there's these scooters, and this is like the kind of rig they have on the back. So you could literally put anything on there, like a plate of any kind of dinner or whatever, and they're totally like individually suspended. So you see, and it's like literally a single order, maybe like just a few bowls, and they move independently. So whatever happens, however suddenly you stop the scooter or whatever, it's not going to be knocked over. There's not a really great depiction of it. Here's more of a here's not in the wild, but more of a static shot. Yeah, it's hard to describe, but this is kind of the mechanism. So I don't know what that's called, like a gimbal or something. I don't know what that is, but yeah, you literally can put anything on that floating platform. And oh yeah, let's see if there's any videos. And it's not going to spill. Yeah, so sushi or ramen or, yeah, just about everything. All right, let's see here. Oh, there's a unpleasant looking guy. Oh, it's just yeah, he's walking up to a parked scooter and showing it. Let's see. Sorry, there's not great options on YouTube. Yeah, I should follow around somebody with one of those. Yeah, this is mostly just people videotaping parked. Yeah, like a state. Yeah, it's like a stabilizer. Yeah, there's not a good. I'm sure I'm gonna find some like super popular channel. Yeah, there's no good videos, everyone is just approaching a parked. They're just showing, like in those photos, they're showing you a parked version of it, not actually it moving around. But yeah, but they just kind of tear around. They just have that. You just notice it because it's such a large apparatus on the back, and they're carrying so little. But I guess they're making like very short, quick trips in the just local neighborhood. But it's really crazy. Yeah, the whole rig looks very bizarre and complicated, and yeah, and it's always like old guys like running. They have to run back and forth on these little scooters delivering, but they'll deliver anything. Yeah, that way, and it arrives perfectly because it's totally stabilized. That's funny. Yeah, but when we were a kid, they had a potato chip delivery service. There was a company called Charles Chips, and everyone just called them Charlie Chips. Charles Chips that would give you, like, to kind of get you addicted to this. They would give you this large tin with a lid on it, like that would be filled with cookies or crackers or something, but it was filled with potato chips, and they would come every week and refill your potato chip tin. And it was pretty large. It was probably the size of like more than a gallon size drum, so maybe almost 2 gallons. Maybe not that. Maybe a gallon and a half. My kid scale, like I was so small, my kid scale is probably a little bit off. But so you could just get rid of the broken, like stale leftovers, and they'd fill it with fresh potato chips. And they were just like the cheap, the typical kind of like Lay's potato, or like the just the thin sliced very standard potato chip. They weren't amazing potato chips, but they would come to your house. So like a big delivery truck would pull up and they would refill your potato chip tin. So I don't know what kind of subscription or cost that was, but that's pretty funny. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that's a good point, K5. Like that delivery, just the fact that they would deliver that. Yeah, and it must just be to support, because it's a local business. It supports you locally, and maybe they figured out as some of their like best customers were aging out, they still wanted to eat at the shop, but they maybe couldn't make it easily into the shop, so they started. So I'm sure if you talk to the restaurants that do that kind of delivery, it's probably a special thing that they don't do for everybody, and it may just be for like old regular customers that can't make it into the shop easily anymore. But you're right, it's not a money making scheme to deliver a single bowl of ramen. And ramen too, you have to be really quick with it because the noodles soak up the soup very quickly. So if it's 10 minutes, it's not going to be very edible. It's going to be pretty brutal. But oh yeah, the milk delivery women. Yeah, they wear kind of shorts, very very standard kind of uniform. Just little shorts and a little like uniform top. Nothing excessively cute. Like not super. I mean, they probably could if they start losing money or whatever. Maybe they'll do that. They could probably push it into very cute cosplay, milkmaid uniforms. But it's pretty standard. But they always have to wear, because they're on scooters. They're always wearing like big helmets and everything. So it's not super cute. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Around here, the mailmen are pretty brutal. They're all like over 60. Like it's not a young man's game here. So I don't know if you're getting much action from the mailmen in Japan. They're pretty spry, I guess, for 60-year-olds. But I've not seen a young postal carrier here. So yeah, so I just want to show you guys that crazy. And so you see those occasionally, like in Osaka on the street, like in front of the office and stuff. You'll see the scooters going up and down with their single order of something on them. But yeah, that kind of stuff is so funny. Yeah, but there's things. I have had students tell me like pretty funny delivery things. Like there were instead of ice cream trucks, like ramen trucks that would come up, but they're basically like a lunch wagon kind of thing. Like they have a kitchen inside them, so they would pull up and they could make some. They were actually cooking something inside, but they would instead of instead of ice cream, they would be in your driveway making you noodles. Uh, yeah, the Amazon delivery guy. That's right. Uh, Brutal. Yeah, I wonder how much of that is going on. Any Amazon babies? He shows up every day delivering packages, so just too tempting. Ah, yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. I have no idea. I know. With the they talk a lot about the cell phone changed changed things a lot for, because Japan still has a pretty decent housewife population. Like there a lot of families that exist on one income still in Japan, so that makes a lot of homemaker housewives. And the kids by 3 years old, by age 3, the kids are going to kindergarten. Like kindergarten starts when what we would call preschool. Kindergarten here starts. So yeah, the cell phone did create this new culture of people, housewives being able to hook up and communicate a lot more, and also teenagers, like high school girls and stuff. That's what started the kind of paid dating trend, because once you could text message with somebody, and they would have like kind of like, I guess, like early bulletin board kind of things where you could contact people or be contactable, post your information. But both of those things started cheating housewives that are home alone all day, and then the high school girls that after school they would just like go eat ice cream with an old guy at a cafe and like make like $200 or whatever. Yeah, the paid date. So that it didn't imply, it could, of course, but it didn't imply anything physical. It's just the guy wants to just sit and look at a pretty young girl. So starting in the 80s, it kind of, or I guess like it'd be late 80s, early 90s, that started to become a culture where, paid dating. I forget the Japanese term for it, but became a thing, and instantly there was a bunch of old perverted guys that would pay for that kind of even non-physical service, just like and that's weird, because being seen with the young schoolgirl, everybody knows. Maybe early on they didn't always know, but it seems like they would know the situation. So why would that, why would you feel any status or anything from that, because everybody knows you're just paying. But I wonder what the kind of sugar daddy culture is like in Japan, because there's so many businesses that kind of do that same thing, and so many ways that you don't have to rely on a single person, or even a couple of people. You can have quite a customer base. So I wonder what that's like. I'm just wondering out loud. But just talking about housewives and delivery men, I remember hearing the story that really changed. That was a little bit of a woman's sexual revolution in Japan, when they didn't have to be bored and being a little bit more frank, Japanese couples are very easily sexless, married couples, because they a lot of the times it's just kids. Like, once you have kids, a lot of Japanese women say, "I'm a mother now. I'm not interested in anything beyond being a mother," and so that's what I think props up a lot of the hostess businesses, and paying for time and drinking with some of the opposite sex that actually works at the bar, is because of that lack of attention that happens after kids here. So very yeah, retro sex politics here. But the cell phone, yeah, kind of shook things up a little bit. First the birth control pill, then the then the cell phone. Uh, delivery packages. uh, yeah, it's funny. Hmm. Yeah, that's very different too. How different cultures handle that, because there's no outlet like in the US or like a lot of Western countries. There's no outlet for, if you want attention from the opposite sex, um, but don't want a boyfriend or girlfriend outside of your relationship. There's no outlet for that. But so much in Japan, there's so much of that built in, and even like hairstylists. Like hairstylists are all straight guys in Japan, which feels very different. They're all really, like usually good-looking, straight, young guys. So there's a lot of that kind of interaction, that kind of gratification or interaction. Like someone is physically touching your head, and they're an attractive young guy. So it's a very funny situation. So that there is this like kind of underlying attention that's being satisfied, that this lack of attention that's being satisfied by just going to the hair salon. And the same thing is with the drinking bars, hostess bars, and just the kabakura kind of drinking bars here, where you go and can just pay a girl that was working there for her time, and even for her time just like sitting and drinking with you. It increases the price of the drinks, of course. And there's even the really small bars that are just run by like one or two women that like take care of a whole bar of a small bar of salarymen after work. So it's a very funny kind of cultural thing that sprang up, very different. So there's no equivalent. Like there's so many things like that, like love hotels and things that there's no equivalent for in America or Europe, because it just wouldn't work. Like if you did a by the hour hotel or motel, I guess, in the US, it would just all be drug use. The drug problems. It would be people shooting up heroin and needing a place to go, or smoking crack or meth or whatever. So you couldn't do that. That kind of business wouldn't ever be a sexual business. But here it's a very funny difference. Yum. I kid. Yeah, I have a confession. No, but it's a very interesting cultural difference, and it's weird because you're kind of separating yourself from your emotional life. Like it's just like, I just need physical or just like I just need attention from the opposite sex, and so I'll get that in some odd non-sexual way by like having somebody talk to me a lot at a bar, or having someone have a lot of small talk with me while I'm having my hair done. It's interesting how that kind of, and that's enough. I mean, I think for a lot of people that satisfies enough, because it's not going to damage your marriage. It's not dangerous. Like you can just go to a different hair salon if you don't like whatever. So it's an odd thing. It's almost like there's a buried kind of other motivation for certain kind of businesses and stuff. Funny, which is the same thing as like talking like going to a small local bar and talking to the bartender. So like bartender as therapist, I guess, is the closest equivalent we have in the West, or just regulars at a bar, just kind of meeting. They're not really friends. They just kind of hang out at the same place and get the so they're not your friends, but you get social interaction from it. So maybe that's similar. Yum is very funny. Well, you got to have your hair done in Japan, Yum. You should. You get a lot of action. Of course, you have to have a Japanese hair. You end up with a Japanese hairstyle, though, so that's maybe not preferable. Yeah, but I'm so surprised how they really kind of push that too, the young hairstyle. That's a very cool kind of like Warren Beatty in Shampoo, that '70s movie. Carrie Fisher, the one Carrie Fisher was in, like he's this like playboy kind of very dating all of his customers, or having a very active, cool '70s sex life because he's a hairstylist, and that doesn't exist so much in the U.S. Yeah, in fact, I think that make a lot of husbands very uncomfortable. Worth it. Yum says, totally worth it. All right. Yeah, it is a funny thing though, how like cultures work out, because it has to be acceptable. It has to kind of go past this test of respectability or whatever. And it's different if it's a Christian, based culture, or Buddhist culture, or even more Catholic or whatever. There's different kind of forces that influence what's okay and what's not. So it's funny what ends up being okay in other cultures. All right. But it does, yeah, definitely feels very sad from the outside. It's a lot of self-denial. I love having my hair done. I don't know what it is. I really love having my hair done, or I love having someone pour me drinks at a bar. I don't know why I like that so much, but I just do. All right. It's a shame. I want to keep this my Japanese kakigori, but there's no one that will even know what that is. All right. So we can do decaf coffee, diet soda, and skim milk, and fat-free, whatever that is. Let's see. I'm so surprised there's no good video of those scooters driving with the little balancing thing on them. All right. Oh, that's right. This is all I have. God damn. Yes, an aerial view of popsicles, or... Okay, wait, so do they work angle-wise if they're almost... Not really. Yeah, if they're falling, I guess that works. Yeah. Okay, that's not even a finished idea yet. Or were we way behind here? So, black coffee, diet soda, diet cola. Yeah, yeah. And maybe more recent models too. The scooters, they have that just encased, that big kind of box on the back. So maybe that has the cantilever. Is that what I'm thinking of? There's a term for that. There's something. No, that's a bridge thing. A projecting beam support on one end is a bracket. Yeah. No, I don't know what that is. The what that mechanism's called. But it's good for not spilling ramen. All right. Yeah, so maybe just like a hopeless, so decaf and diet were big compromises. So where's 30? Yeah, maybe just this duo here. I draw too many stupid little things here. Alright, must be up here somewhere. Yeah, just these two. And we'll do a... There they are. Diet Coke, decaf, coffee, the sacrifice of all that's good. I think maybe the can should be a little bit taller. It feels like a... Oh, maybe thinner. Ah. Thinner. Alright, something like this. It's a pretty wonky looking can. Okay, and I haven't even saved this file yet. I love that when I do all that work and if it crashes, it would all be gone. Alright, so popsicles. Soba delivery bike race. Yeah, that's right. There's definitely got to be in Japan some stupid competition like that. Who can deliver the most intact soba? All right, so let's try just a couple of copies here. So if I flip this, yeah, it can be very the angles could be really fun and crazy, but I want to have just a bunch of falling ice cream. And this one should be flipped as well. Feels like... A going out of business sale. Right. Oh, ice cream truck crash. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. They they all came out of their wrappers. Oh yeah, let's. How about a aerodynamic joke? Yeah. That they all felt they would be. Whoops. They all felt they'd be much more aerodynamic. That might be kind of funny. Yeah, something like that. That gives me another excuse to do a colorful... Another colorful, cool summer, like the water balloons. So let's try some actual coloring here. So maybe a little... Yeah, not super bright. Maybe this blue? No, it's got to be a brighter blue. Like this blue. Yeah. All right. And fudgicle. Hey, chocolate. And definitely super bright red. And what else? Oh, maybe purple, like a grape popsicle. And the last one, just vanilla. Yeah, we'll do a... They thought they'd be much more aerodynamic. And then the stick color. Yeah, there we go. Kind of desaturated wooden color. Should be a little more yellow. No, I think that works. It contrasts pretty good. It contrasts pretty good. All right. And then... something like this. And this one. Boom. There we go. Oh, green. Yeah, I like the ice cream truck crash. Yeah, we need a green, don't we? Oh, look, a nice icy green. So instead of purple or instead of... Yeah, we'll do green instead of purple. There we go. That looks good. It just looks like I did some kind of wallpaper texture or something. A bunch of popsicles. Here's the idea. A bunch of popsicles fall out of the truck. All right. Go. Yeah, I think that's everything. I think, yeah, I don't see anything there. Falling frozen ice cream. Something like that. There we go. And there won't be any kind of reference to the ground or anything. They're still pretty airborne. Oh, but this one. There we go. Okay, so some eyes. It doesn't make any sense there. None of them have wrappers anymore. Maybe here. Much more aerodynamic. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's true. That would be a fun. fun print on a shirt or something. Little popsicles flying everywhere. All right, I guess that'll work. I'm gonna have a theme now. Okay, let's do just a Coca-Cola red. Oh no, diet. Right. So it's some kind of weird diet color. I don't know. Just gray for now. And maybe the standard bluish mug. Or maybe more of that ugly ceramic, maybe more yellow ceramic mug color. Yeah, that looks better. More depressing. All right. So a lighter gray for the kind of label. Oops. Jeez. Guess I'm just doing this by hand. Yeah, I guess it's too close. All right, and then some kind of recognizable swoosh. There we go. And some coffee. Ah, that sounds good right now. All right. Coffee in the mug and maybe some soda. Coffee and or soda on the ground. All right. Oh. Oh, half green. Oh. Oh, did they have that? Really? Doing half green instead of changing the purple. Oh, like which way? Vertically or horizontally? Do they have that? That would look nice. Yeah, either way. Like a purple, green and purple combo would look nice. Which way? I can't picture that, but maybe here, let me try. So if you did it like this way. Oh, what am I doing here? Wrong there. Let me put it there. Like this way. Oh, the vanilla one. Oh. Okay. So changing the, okay, so, oh, sorry. Change the vanilla one to unknown. Yeah, vanilla one's kind of boring. I like the two-tone purple and green. Oh, sorry. So let me figure this. Change. Okay, so change the vanilla to green, or make the vanilla. Yeah. I'm not sure if that exists in nature. Yeah, I like the two-tone purple and green one, though. That looks good. The 70s Incredible Hulk special. Yeah, so vanilla, yeah, that is kind of boring, isn't it? So we have, okay, one more flavor. We can do orange, just kind of close. Should just do a very lemony yellow. Yeah, vanilla's. I'm just going for inspiration. Yeah, vanilla is kind of boring. What's another a color? I like that two-tone. Oh, and maybe do the vanilla so that it looks dipped. So maybe the vanilla here so that it looks like one of those ice cream bars that's dipped in chocolate. And one more color. We have blue. Maybe just a bright yellow would look better than would look better than vanilla. Oh, yeah. That's much more summery. There we go. And we even got the vanilla in there. It's fun. I enjoy it. And yeah, I enjoy the feedback. It's very fun. Yeah, I like the two-tone, that two-tone blue. I don't think that exists, but I wish it did. We all wish things were awesome like that. Two-tone popsicles. All right. Did you guys see those? Some communist, I'm sure like socialist or communist capitalist did a Eat the Rich series of ice cream bars where it's all like, the head of Amazon or Elon Musk or whatever, all of the tech rich the ice cream bars that look like like characters, so they have the little gumdrop eyes and stuff. So somebody did some series of Eat the Rich ice cream bars. All right. Where is this? But it seems like a very capitalist endeavor, and I'm sure the people that did it don't identify themselves as capitalists. I mean, it's supposed to be a political, more political, more of a ribbing of the elites, but yeah, it's also a money-making venture. All right. There we go. Oh, nice. Silent green ice cream bars. Perfect. That's what we all wish. Oh, we're getting there. We're going to have, we're going to be eating insect protein any moment now. Did you guys see the, oh, come on. Tom Cruise's ex doing the demonstration of how much she likes to eat live worms, like living worms. Totally blanking on her name. He's got a lot of ex-wives. So Nicole Kidman, that's right. Yeah, Nicole Kidman. I think there's probably a video. Kidman eating bugs. I'll put a link. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Oh, for Vanity Fair. Yeah, she did it for Vanity Fair magazine. So I won't play it on stream, but I'll send you guys I'll post the link. Yeah, I wish it was Katie Holmes. No, it was yeah. Yeah, for Vanity Fair she did this. Oh, I love to eat worms. It's very bizarre. Oh, they're talking about it as a secret talent. So she's showing off her secret talent, and that's eating live insects. I don't know if that counts as a talent, but that very much felt like a, trying to program us. Get ready. This is how you're going to be getting your protein in the near future once we outlaw beef farming. Yeah, it had a very creepy feel. All right, this one's pretty plain, but I think it'll be nice and depressing. Delicious worms. Yeah, I wonder what she would have looked like if she aged a little more gracefully. Because I think Nicole Kidman's a decent actress. It's just a shame she looks so terrifying now. Like, she's so artificial. I would prefer a little more natural version of her. Or maybe, what was the point? Yeah, like that. Yeah, right. We'll just eat the worms, and we'll live in the pods. We'll eat the bugs, and then they can have cows on their pedophile islands. They can eat the children, right? They'll eat our children while we eat the bugs. Oh man, yeah. You know that there's still going to be cows, because if a country like Japan can have a beef industry, they have almost no grazing land or pasture land or anything. If they can have beef, you can do it almost anywhere. So there will be hidden beef forever. Secret beef. All right, so I think we have some color cartoons now. That is not a hidden talent, Nicole Kidman. That is a survival technique. Lemon. All right. Oh, that's so funny. Presenting a secret beef. Presenting you with a present. It's funny that cats do that. I don't know enough about, because they're not pack animals, so they're not like, doing some display for the alpha, but I guess it's probably just that thing that evolved, like why cats started talking, like why cats started meowing, to people for the attention, like as they started to domesticate. It must be like one of those instinct things based on that. If you keep me around, I'll bring you I'll bring you more dead things. Oh, I wonder if that's an evolutionary thing, because they didn't chase cats off. You kept them around. So if they displayed, they're like, look, I killed this mouse, then people are like, oh, well, then he can stay. We won't scare him away or kill it, because look, he's useful. So yeah, I wonder if that's the cats that survived were the ones that demonstrated for humans that they could catch things, and then they lived. So instinctually they evolved to show you what they caught, because then you're like, oh, okay, well, then you're useful. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, something like that. Oh, right. Yeah, like they would. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like they would do to their children. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's so funny. The cats, don't vocalize much, but they kind of evolved to talk to us. I mean, they do like fighting and like mating type sounds, but otherwise they're pretty quiet. All right, so we got some color. So let's look at some comments, maybe. I don't know. Do we have anything? Not yet. All right, so let's switch over real quick to comments. All right, so nothing on our water balloons yet, so we'll skip that until next time. So July 21st, 2022. Wow, 19. Watchpot never boils, but sometimes blinks. Never boiled, but sometimes blinked. All right. Blink signals the water is about to boil. Nice. I didn't put water in either of the pots, but yeah, I guess the idea came across. And the paper cup admired the coffee-stained fortitude of the break room mug. Nice. The break room mug admired the Italian espresso cup, also so fashionable. It doesn't look like a paper cup, does it? It takes a strong mug to withstand the vigors of a lunchroom. Bangs, chips, stains, cracks, lipstick, gasp. The only relief it gets is at the end of the day, when the daily massage happens. The dishwasher. Nice. Zebra stripes is coming in heavy on the comments. His potency did not diminish with age. It only gets better. Nice. Alright, let's do a couple of random. Oh, this one is definitely on stream. Look at that lively donut coffee deal. I gotta make sure you guys can see this. There we go. Most donuts would never know the trauma of dunking. Dunking donuts. I hated dunking. Take a bite, then a sip. Oops. Sorry, Ed. There we go. I made me feel like a jacuzzi tub. Nice. Yeah, that was definitely drawn on stream. That's funny. Alright. That's right, me complaining about filing taxes. So April 15th, 2014. Electronically filing taxes forced otherwise logical machines to do horrible, unspeakable things. Things they knew were wrong but were forced to do anyhow. Nice. This computer will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Alright. Oh, there we go. That might have been just before streaming. He expected the umbrella to be far more useful in a downpour. Oh, we've already seen this guy. Oral hygiene was hard on relationships and the germs that cause bad breath. Bum bum. Always little lines from commercials. Wow. So January 18th, 2018. Together their combined calories would bring about great change. It seemed like weight gain overnight, but weight loss takes... weight gain overnight, weight loss takes forever. It's just unfair. Nice. And I like the little M&Ms all around. Oh, thanks, Yum. Yeah, the donut, some of the details on these more recent digital ones are fun. He couldn't imagine a worse flavor combination. Already did that one, I think. Oh, well, these are all really recent. Yeah, did this one too. Shaken Jello. There we go. 2009. He began to accept his future of still being a cigar box, but not containing any cigars. 2009. Alright, 2012. Oh, we saw this one. So, some mysterious force will keep them together. I think I've had too many glue jokes. Oh, good. Great change the number of calories. Oh yeah, these that plastic candy cane full of chocolate. It's a Christmas, very American Christmas. Once emptied of chocolate candies, his candy cane shape felt even more ridiculous and tiny too. There we go. 2018. This year's pumpkin carving had a very experimental tone. And yeah, they vary in size. I don't have a standard proportion for anything. The tea bag seemed determined to brew with or without him. Must resist. Tea bag comment. Ha 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 ha. Alright. Oh, September 11th, 2018. They all resented being part of this disjointed breakfast. Nothing connected. This is just sad. Please find some tea and cereal for them and maybe some milk. This is just sad. That'd be a good pull quote for the collection. Oh, this was a sticker at one time too. Her honey bear was proving to be more sticky than sweet. Oh, I can't believe people haven't seen this one online. Yeah, I sold a lot of stickers of the chubby honey bear. Yeah, that's a classic era one, the marker drawing era. It would all end in pieces and possibly, all end in pieces and possibly ice cream. August 2nd, 2012. Just found it and now, see, it's been around since December of 2004. It will take a while to get through the archives. Tiki Carol just discovered me 10 years ago. That's right. She discovered me 10 years ago and found out I'd been around even longer. All right. Oh, I saw this one. And 2020, that was definitely on stream. Their participation in Halloween night was up in the air. Boom, boom. The candy corn has got to go down. It's got to go down before it comes up. All right. All right. I think we're good. Oh no. Now we have to write some cartoons. Okay. I'm making you guys suffer before you see my amazing second grade creations. Not a lot of Godzilla so far. All right. I think I had a pretty strong idea for this one already. Diet Cola and decaf, 2 F's and naphinated, like that. Or no, like this. No. Ugh. Calf. Caffeinated. Caffeine is E-I-E, and I'll try that. And caffeinated coffee. Yes, you gotta hang in there. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I gotta pay attention when I was scrolling through the comments so you guys can see. Sorry about that. Yeah, a little too zoomed in. You were just getting fragments. I'll be more careful next time. I think I gotta change the how that screen is being captured. Thanks, Yum. Caffeinated. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Double F. Okay, so Diet Cola and decaffeinated coffee. We're wondering what was the point? What was the point? Why? Oh shoot. So how do I want to say that? What the point was? What the point of it all? Felt pointless? Felt a little pointless. Pointless. Diet Cola and decaffeinated coffee. Felt a little pointless, or a little something better than pointless. A little less than caffeinated. Decaf. Yeah, I remember hearing it's probably just a one of the internet things or something, but they used formaldehyde to decaffeinate coffee in the very beginning. So it was very caustic and disgusting what they did to early decaffeinated coffee. Oh, struggle to find purpose. Yeah, purpose is better than pointless. Yeah. Or unmotivated. Yeah, struggle. I like, struggled to so very unmotivated. Yeah, purposeless is better. Without purpose is better than pointless. Or without, it's better than pointless. Decaf coffee. Or just felt a lack of motivation. Or struggled with a lack. filled with felt, or just lacked. Lacked motivation or oh yeah, yeah. Is it like a nihilistic? It couldn't couldn't sleep at night. Yeah, yeah. Ironically, they had trouble sleeping. Yeah, I like that idea. It wasn't the caffeine. Oh, a cup of coffee. Lacked motivation. Yeah, or yeah. What's a I like the idea of nihilism too. The nothing matters. Caffeine and nihilism. Yeah. Yeah, like sleepless decaffeinated drinks. That's really good. Uh, oh wait, yeah, wait. So to make that perfect and perfectly silly, I have to do this. Oops. Bum. This is too stupid. I think I'm breaking a rule of. I don't know if you can even see that in the JPEG, but it makes me laugh. Yes, just to suffer. I like, yes, sleepless. So they were mysteriously sleepless, or lack of purpose made them tired. Let's see. Their pointlessness was exhausting. I can't. Was exhausting. Wait a minute. Was exhausting. The pointlessness of Diet Cola and decaffeinated coffee was exhausting. Pointlessness. Yeah, something that was causing, the other thing that made them. Why are they ironically sleepless? Or should have had no trouble sleeping. Insomnia. Yeah, insomnia was the last insomniac beverages. Tired of lacking purpose. Surprisingly sleepless. That's a good phrase. Surprisingly sleepless. You'd never expect. Purposeless decaf existence ironically caused sleepless nights. Yeah, I like that. Their purposeless decaf existence. Yeah, maybe instead of naming them, because I guess you from the coloration you could probably get that they. So maybe their lack of caffeine would be better than don't do this, don't do this. Okay, yeah. So do something like their lack of caffeine. Didn't give them yeah, so something, yeah. So they didn't have, so no purpose, so no sleep. Their lack of caffeine made them purposeless and surprisingly sleepless. I do like surprisingly sleepless. So their lack of caffeine and purpose made them. Why do I just want to say that? Why do I want to have the surprisingly sleepless? Their lack of both caffeine and purpose. Something like that's as close as it's gonna get. Oh yeah. Oh, did we just do the same thing? Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I think our phrases aligned there. Yum, that was perfect. Yeah, very sad. Their lack of both caffeine and purpose made them surprisingly sleepless. Yeah, there we go. That's a much better phrase. I had to work in surprisingly sleepless. Sleepless in surprisingly Seattle. All right. And the last, or the their lack of aerodynamics. Yeah, so maybe not even explaining why there's popsicles everywhere. They were all shocked at their lack of aerodynamics. Tragic tale. Yeah, that's a fun way. I really like that. When that works in this cartoon, is to be sad and ironic and funny in just a very short amount of time. Aerodynamic. Something is Photoshop is acting really weird. Yeah, the way objects move through the air. So that's probably the best word. Their lack of aerodynamics. Shocked by. Yeah, to be shocked by something. They were all shocked by their lack of aerodynamics. And yes, for some reason they are just falling. Wait, let's try a motion blur just in case that would work. Oh wait, is it still? Let's try that again. I don't know if we need to blur them so much here. It's not gonna... Whoa, there we go. Maybe that kind of works. Because I can... I don't know what direction they should be going here. And I can actually cut it. Yeah, maybe let's try that. Is that the best direction? Down. Yeah, the ones to the side don't. That doesn't work very well. But then I can do this, or I can just get rid of on the one edge, so that it's more of a falling deal. Oops. Oh, those overlap a little bit, don't they? And fade them a little bit. Yeah, motion blur, if you can get it to make sense. A lot of times it's really cool because people can do like forced perspective, or like a character's like reaching out or whatever, and it looks like their hands moving so fast. It's the camera, and it's blurring in the camera. Let's try a little... Oh yeah, maybe that. Yeah, that looks a little more dynamic. And it's behind everything too, so all the shadows and highlights are still reading well. Yeah, I think that'll work. So make them look a little bit more... They were all shocked by their lack of aerodynamics. Sure. That works. Uh-oh. Is it... Oh no, it's not quite Godzilla time, is it? It's shaved ice gummy time. Alright, let me save these out. Ah, thanks. Thanks, unknown girl. Yeah, something a little bit more kinetic be good. So that, yeah, there's some weird emotion. I'm not just talking about it, it's actually visible on in the cartoon. Alright, there's one. And two. Surprisingly sleepless. There we go. And we'll bring some popsicles back. All right. All right. So let's go to the convenience store. All right. My little door chime is over. There we go. Okay, here we go. A very summer... Oh, nothing is keying out this week. A very summer snack, or very summer themed snack, because you can see both the fireworks. So yeah, the fireworks and the lanterns. And of course the... yeah, so here's the scale I was kind of trying to show you guys in that drawing. The scale of shaved ice in Japan is pretty crazy. It's just a heaping bowl. So we're trying to simulate a snow cone or a shaved ice, a bowl of shaved ice, in a gummy. So, okay, that might work. And it's an icy strawberry flavor, right? But the thing that worries me a little bit here is it says chocolate in katakana, so chocoreto. So I don't know what that means because I don't want this to taste like chocolate. I guess chocolate and strawberry would not be the worst combination, but we'll see. Yeah, so a very summer themed packaging. So I thought it was worth giving it a shot, and it was oh yeah, I don't know Hiratsuka, but it's so small. Sorry, it's so small. 62. Not worth printing it that small. So we'll give these a shot. And it's got a, so you tear it open, but it's got a, it's like a Ziploc bag. So if you don't eat everything, they do that a lot with snacks, because I think they assume you throw them in a bag often. So, whoa. Oh, it's white chocolate. Yeah, so it is chocolate, but it's white chocolate. And it's gummies. I think it's gummies. Oh, no, it's just chocolate. Where did I get the idea? Maybe from that image. I thought that it was, they were gummies. Well, false, fake news already. No, it is chocolate. I thought, it was in the gummy section. That's right. There's a rack that's all gummy candy, and this was there. And from the look of the, on the package, I thought it was a gummy, but it's actually white chocolate. So bait and switch, but you see the little splotch of strawberry on top? Oh. And it's got Rice Krispies inside it. So it's, wow. That's why it didn't make any sense. Because why would it be chocolate and gummies? Yeah, so that's where I was confused. It came off of the gummy shelf, but maybe they didn't have any room for it anywhere else. So this should have been in with the chocolates, and it's very cute, you know, the little ball. But it's not strawberry. I'm getting like very little strawberry. It's mostly just white chocolate. Yeah, but it's got a nice texture to it. It's not just like a piece of chocolate. It's got some like a Nestle Crunch bar. It's got a little crunchy puffed rice in it. So not a gummy. Just a refugee in the gummy section. K5 is so destroyed. I'm so sorry. I thought for sure. I don't know. To me, those little guys right there looked so much like a gummy, and they were in the whole rack of gummy candy. But no, they're just crunchy little chocolates. They're white chocolates, so they're not particularly great, and they don't taste anything like a snow cone. So I think all of this is totally misleading, because there's nothing even slightly snow cone, like the flavor of the syrup or anything is not there. It's just a cute little white chocolate snack. We've all been fooled. We've all been led astray. Since 1962, this company has been confusing us. They probably even have instructions on the back to put these in the gummy candy section, just so people don't know what's going on. Well, that's not a... It's a little strange. It's like when you expect like something to taste a certain way, or like you're expecting to be drinking cola and you drink beer or something, and the shock of the wrong flavor is very disorienting. I'm very disoriented by this strange strange mistake. But I will keep looking for shaved ice gummy candy, because these are just white chocolate that don't even really taste like strawberry. Crazy. I'm going back to that store and I'm giving them a piece of my mind. If you put these in the wrong section again and ruin my live stream, there will be financial repercussions for you and your whole company. But yeah, this is very, very summer though, and I'm sure you see a lot of this. Any like Asian supermarkets and stuff. I'm sure around this time there's a lot of theming for the funny summer. But yeah, so summer fireworks and the fans, the Uchiwa. A lot of companies print like advertisements on those big fans and hand those out. So you get a bunch of those every year. And then balloons and flowers, and then of course the little lanterns. Well, it was okay, but not gummy in any way. And K5 will never trust me again. When I tweet it's gummy candy, there's no way he'll fall for that twice. Okay. So now, how are we going to do this? Okay, so here is the Godzilla portion of the. Okay, so let's try this. Oh yeah, I have Godzilla already going on here. Ba boom. Oh, there we go. All right, so there's our Shin Godzilla. Oh, actually, let's even bring in our little pixel Godzilla too. He was cute. So I'm not sure if it's from a video game. It looks like it is probably from a Super Nintendo game. So we'll put old Heisei Godzilla walking over there. But I think this is all going to have to go away pretty quickly because so this is no, the frustrating thing is you would think teachers would want to write a date on the books, but there weren't any dates on any of these books. So I have no. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that we're talking like 77, 78, possibly 79. My handwriting is not terrible, so I think I might be a little bit older than I thought. So I'm thinking second grade, maybe third grade. And the only clue to that is the Columbus Road Elementary School. They put a little sticker in one of the books that said K through 3. So I think it was the little, so it definitely wasn't kindergarten because I don't think I could write at all then. And at the latest, it was third grade. I'm thinking it was second grade, though. So here we go. Let me see. Oh, so it's keying out pretty bad. I guess you can kind of get an idea. So I might turn the key off. So this is my first ever self-published work. And as you can see, it's incorrectly spelled. Where should I put it here? Incorrectly spelled Godzilla versus Gamera. So I was trying to do Godzilla versus Gamera, although Gamera does not appear in this book at all. But for some reason, I watched a lot of monster movies and got those two characters mashed together. And I am not sure who I'm going for here. I think this is an early Godzilla monster. And yeah, but I liked his like little coif of red hair. So maybe I don't know who this was supposed to be, but I think it's from an early Showa Godzilla character, or possibly even from a non-Godzilla movie. So wait, should I Godzilla? Godzilla. Okay, so as you can see, or as you maybe can't see, we've got a little Rodan action here. We've got Megalon. Megalon is flying. This is easily my favorite cartoon. My favorite movie in the Godzilla series was Godzilla versus Megalon, and this guy I think I'm calling Gamera, but I think he is somebody else. I can't get a good. So kind of like King Caesar, right? Yeah, let me see. He's looking a little bit like. No, not King Caesar. Who am I? Who is this? So Anguirus is like a spiky turtle. I'm not sure who I was thinking of, but I pulled him from I think an old Godzilla movie. Yeah. But let's just put Showa, because then if we put the era in, we're gonna get a lot of the nerdy responses. I have no idea. Okay, but we will we'll go through the book. I don't think it'll key once I open it up. I don't think it'll key. But so if you can't tell, it's laminated. It's a laminated piece of cardboard, and it actually has like binding tape on it. And the teachers had us write the book, write our story out, and divide it by pages. And then they went through and typed each page. So all of the text in the books is typed out. I love how the yellow, everything is all keying out. So they went through with a typewriter and depending on how much was written on each page, like scaled the size of the type or maybe there's a couple of different typewriters, but there's a couple that look a little bit different here. So this is my depiction of whoever I think this is, but I like his little red hair. Is nice. So they got horns and red hair. Who is this guy? This website is doing nothing. Okay, wait. Oh, there's so many. Yeah, there's a ton of monsters. Millennium Era. Yeah. Sorry. I should have done my little research before, like what mistake I made. But there's a lot of mistakes in here. Okay, so here's our little title page, right? And it says God. Oh, the teacher corrected my spelling too. So there's Godzilla with a D. All right, so here we go. But look at this. So, and they even look at this. They sewed this into the cover. So it's a laminated piece of cardboard, which is very, very hard to draw on. So the cover illustration is garbage because the cardboard is so absorbent. The felt pens wouldn't work very well. So they worked better on this paper. And then the poor teachers had to sew it into this. And then the stitching on the outside was covered with binding tape. Look at that. For like probably 20 or 30 kids in the class, they did all of this. All right, but here we go. So Godzilla. Wait a minute. Which way? All right, Godzilla versus Gamera. And this is a riveting story. You guys are going to be... yeah. All right, so here's another title page. I guess we get two. Written and illustrated by Jeremy Lambros. So this is it. This is the record, the first record. This is really terrible. There we go. Oh, my God. I'm just going to read this to you like it's story time. All right. So once in Japan, there was a terrible battle between Godzilla and Gamera. Godzilla chased Gamera away, and we're already 4 pages in. But look at that. Look at all that potential. Oof, I couldn't draw well at all. Then, a long time after that battle, Gamera returned and was out to get Godzilla. This might have been 3rd grade. This is my English is a little too competent for 2nd grade. Godzilla knew that Gamera was out to get him, so he called Rodan, and of course there's Rodan again. And Gamera called Megalon. Man, the plot thickens. Look at my motion lines. Look at these action lines. I think I drew the exact same thing twice. All right, and there was the worst battle you ever saw. Look at that. We got some airborne combatants. We got him on the ground. Yeah. Oh, so he's got electricity. Who the hell is that? I gotta figure that out. Baragon? No. Oh wait. Okay. Wait. There's little rollover illustrations here. Okay. Wait a minute here. I don't know. Who that's supposed to be, but it's not Gamera. Of course, Gamera is the space turtle, friend to all children. All right, so you guys must be waiting to see what happens. So first, Gamera threw a giant rock at Godzilla. Look at that amazing posture. He's very ape-like. Godzilla got real mad and shot his atomic breath at Megalon, who didn't throw a rock at him. So he was. And then Rodan. Rodan hit Gamera with his claws, and Gamera fell down. And the end of the story is right here. Godzilla killed Gamera and Megalon. And I guess this is the charred remains of their burning corpses. So there are no sequels in my world. There is finality to every battle. So they were killed and they were burnt beyond recognition by atomic fire. And then Godzilla went back to Monster Island and Japan was safe. The end. All right, so I swear I won't read any more of these books to you. But this is it. This is the first publication to bear my name. Oh, good. I'm glad. And I hope everyone's in bed as I read this. Yeah, so it sounds a little bit. The writing, I guess, is probably a little bit more mature than second grade. So second or third grade, but we're still well in the 70s. But these poor teachers. So everyone had to do one book, right? And this was always my like MO for any sort of like project where you actually made something. So you're supposed to do one book, and then I wrote another book, the the death of Captain Johnson, and there's his ship on the back. And then I wrote another book, the bag of cheeses. Yes, because I wasn't allowed. See, here's the weird edit that I was talking about. I wasn't allowed to use Cheetos or something, so I had to rewrite what these things were called. So I think a teacher said don't use trademark things. And then this one is done a little more shabbily, so I think this was after the fact. The Galaxy Voyager. So look at this, 4 books for the, and we only needed to produce one. So the thing that I wanted to point out is the title page of this goofy book, because it's a white background, right? It's a white background. This is what got me. So I don't know if you guys can see. So this this page that was done a long time ago, almost 50 years ago, looks disturbingly like domestic abuse cartoons. It's, you know, white background with a little collection of food stuff. So I drew this a long time ago, and I have not have not gotten any more ideas. So I'm drawing the same thing. And the thing that you'll notice, it was definitely the 70s, because I have an insanely racist depiction of, I guess, Asian mustard. So there's a yellow mustard bottle, but he has like the Fu Manchu mustache and like kind of peaked eyebrows of like a Dr. Fu Manchu type character, which I probably got from a Bugs Bunny cartoon. But isn't this bizarre? When I saw this looks exactly like the cartoons that I'm like spending my whole life drawing now. But that made me laugh so much. Not the racist mustard so much. I guess maybe it's a racist apple too. He looks a little Italian or I don't know, possibly Eastern European. But yeah, the stupid idea of like, and the thing that was funny is just the white background. Like I didn't do any sort of like suggestion of where they are. It's just things floating in a white background. Yeah. But this story is horrible. But yeah, look, they had obviously a different typewriter too. Look at the larger font. But all this work, these poor teachers, they had to sew these books and type them out. And the like I was saying, that they just gave us these horrible felt pens to draw with, so we couldn't do anything that actually even looked very good. But that's eerie. That's eerie that I haven't had any new ideas for several decades. But yeah, these were very funny, and you got to see. So not only my Japan fetish existed, but my obsession with making food do dramatic things existed all this time. I know. See, I have to destroy this book because I am in Asia and I have a racist. And why did I think? I don't know why the mustard was Asian, because it's yellow. Oh, I was a horribly racist kid. Well, K5, thank you for stopping, for hanging in there, and for not deleting deleting your subscription when you were bait and switched on the gummies. But yeah, very funny. So thanks so much. Good night, K5, and get some good sleep. Yeah, so really strange. But I always my parents held on to these, and I always thought this was the coolest thing that I'd ever did at school, is when we were doing books, because books were always a big thing at school, because they did like book orders. They had this thing where like it was once a month, one of the publishers, like Random House or one of the kids publishers, did a book order thing. So they would have this whole selection of samples of books, and then you could order, and a lot of them were like serial, like, you know, so they had a sequel, like a series of books, and you could order those. So we were always obsessed with books. And then when the teacher said we get to make books, that was like the most amazing thing. Yum, you are the worst. Yum. Okay, only if you're in bed. If you're in bed and you've got the covers pulled up under your chin, then I guess it's really bad. I think I just kind of stole it from one of those like standard kids book stories. But you need to hear the cheeses. I wonder. I should take it apart and figure out what the cheeses were originally called. But the bag of cheeses. Okay, we're reading the cheeses for Yum. But look at this. Look at my... Okay, this makes me suspect second grade, though, because look at that awesome cursive. Yeah. My script wasn't amazing. All right, so the bag of cheeses and their racist mustard friend. I think this is actually a much longer book. You're going to be sorry. And written and illustrated by yours truly. Oh, look at this. Okay, so we got... I guess I'm showing some sort of family here, but there is also a dog made of cheeses. So it's like Cheetos. They're like puffed snacks. All right. Ooh, this is hard to read. So once there was a bag of cheeses, and they went on a trip. They got in their swimming suits and went to the beach. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we got one of them here, right? There we go. This is the worst live stream ever. So they went to the beach and swam all day, like I said before. And then they left, but they forgot baby Cheesy. Oh, see, there he is. He's like down at the bottom of the cliff here. They left baby Cheesy. He didn't know where they were. First, he went to a family of worms. This is really, really low effort artwork at this point. The worms said, "We're sorry, we're not your family." Or, "We're not your family, sorry." Secondly, baby Cheesy went to a family of crabs. They said, "Nope." But the sun was that. Finally, his own family found Cheesy on the beach. And they lived happily. Oh, here we go. Here's the whole purpose of writing this story. And they lived happily in a bag. The end. Okay, I think the teachers knew that I was just into the idea of making something, that I didn't actually have anything to say. Yeah, this is one of those like lost, like Are You My Mother? I think there's a Dr. Seuss published book that was like that. Yeah, just one of those lost children's stories. It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. But not baby Cheesy. Yeah, I should have stopped at the end so you never found out what happened to their small child. Yeah, so it's funny, the stories, obviously you can see like the space one is very Star Wars influenced, and then the one about the captain, I think I saw some monster movie where there was like they were exploring or something, and there was an image of a monster that swam under their ship, or they could see it from, it was a guy in a suit, but you could see it through the water underneath their ship. So I thought that image was so amazing, and so that whole book is, or that whole idea is just based on that one image from that movie. But it's funny to see how like pop culture images kind of stick with you. It should have been a much uglier ending. I guess I was just much more positive, much more racist, and much more positive back then. I couldn't stand. I guess the child endangerment theme was bad enough. I couldn't actually have child death in in a story. Oh, but thank you for hanging in there. And I just wanted to document on the internet that, yeah, in fact, domestic abuse existed for a very long time. And there's baking soda too, a box of baking soda that's not alive. So I guess I thought baking soda didn't deserve to be to be omniscient. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging in there through this, and I'm glad I have these now somewhere safe instead of sitting in an office. I hope nobody came across them and reported me. So if this stream doesn't show up next week, you'll know it was I was convicted of a hate crime, and my depiction of yellow mustard was a little too much for the local authorities. Yeah, but I think it also speaks to my like amazing laziness as a artist or as a cartoonist, as a creative person. Like, not doing any backgrounds, not doing any heavy duty coloring. Like, the minimal effort to get to produce something is definitely been my style forever. Yes, thank you guys for hanging in there. So embarrassing, but yeah, that's it's just very funny. It's very funny that that look stayed around forever. But I think it is just because it's like I don't want to draw a kitchen, or I don't want to draw anything in the background. And the I think our time limit was very short making those. Yeah, as a kid, I'm still amazed that teachers like devoted so much time and effort to doing things for students. And I'm sure it's still like that, although it's probably become more like digital in the things that they do for kids. But yeah, it's amazing. Really amazing. And now I'm obsessed with finding out who that monster was that I mistook. Yeah, it's funny. So 20 years of this cartoon this year, but even longer ago, so probably about 40 years ago, a little more than 40 years ago, was the actual first creation. So maybe in this recent collection too, if I don't think that I'm going to be able to actually retrieve the original drawing, but I'm going to simulate that original first drawing, kind of reenact it with a Sharpie and put that in the book, as the, showing the kind of beginning of the genesis of the whole look of the cartoon. Although it's kind of gone away from that a bit. It's yeah, it's still there, kind of, even though it's all digital now. But nice. Yeah, it's a funny thing. And so even in art school, both undergrad and graduate, I was making books. So I guess it was really perfect too, the timing where print-on-demand books and things began to become a thing, because I made books so much. Even the first Domestic Abuse were my little handmade kind of postcard size booklets that had like an acetate cover and stuff. So yeah. So we're gonna Asian yellow mustard. So we're gonna have to yeah, bring that back. But yeah, I always was attracted to like books as objects. So that's why cartooning maybe appealed to me too, because it works well in book form. So yeah, as I figure out who that monster was that I mistook. Yeah, so it's funny how much, and I don't think, I mean, I knew, I called it Japan, so I definitely knew Godzilla wasn't American. So I was aware there was a country called Japan and Godzilla lived there and protected it. But it's really funny. Most of the Japanese pop culture that I consumed as a little kid, I had no idea it was Japanese. Like all the anime and some of the, silly sci-fi monster movies and stuff. I didn't know for sure that it was actually from Japan. Because, if you dub it, if everyone's speaking English, you don't think very hard as a kid. So it's just, yeah, easily believe that it's made in your home country. I think a lot of cartoons are like that. And I think like Disney and stuff. I'm sure kids growing up in, it took a while before they realized that, Disney wasn't a domestic product. All right, let's go back. So no more flaming Godzilla. So this is actually Shin Godzilla behind me, but I love this his breath turning from that purple atomic beam to fire. All right, so what a guy. So thank you so much. Yum says, yeah, definitely. Yeah, the mustard's probably going to be played by Tom Cruise in the movie of The Bag of Cheeses. They're definitely going to cast a white actor. I know it. That really, I'm already upset about it. Hey, Michael Scott, how's it going? You just missed the children's book story minute. Uh, Crazy, but yeah, that was fun. I'm glad you guys motivated me to find that again. So it's a funny memory. I don't think anyone here has actually seen those. They will be disturbed, I'm sure. My daughter especially. She already draws so much better than I do. It's disturbing, and I think because when you have a language that's like a pictogram language, and you're actually drawing with the language, like the balance of the letter and everything is really important. When you're drawing, everybody draws so much better, so young here. Like everyone can basically cartoon. If you look at in shops, a lot of the shop staff will do little signs and everything. And they always put little characters, and the characters are always drawn really, really well. It's just that they don't have a lot of confidence in their original ideas, so you don't have a lot of people becoming, cartoonists or wanting to put out their original ideas because they don't think they're very good. There's like a lack of confidence, but everyone has the kind of technical ability too. Everyone's a decent singer and they can draw pretty well, so it's very funny. All right. Wow. Oh, it's 6, so I guess I better wind it up. So thank you guys so much for humoring me and continue the party without me. But yeah, Yum, an unknown girl, and the retired K5, and Matt, thank you so much for hanging out in the chat. It's always fun. But we will do this again next week. And if you're watching for the first time and you survived the story, the storybooks, abusecartoons.com is the website for everything that is going on here. And Abuse Cartoons on social media, and gocomics.com/domestic abuse for the archive of all the cartoons. So everyone, take care, and I will see you again soon. So thanks again, and I promise no more no more books I wrote as a child. We'll stick with the more mature content. All right. So take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.